Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Our top story, a former FEMA administrator in Sarasota County now analyzing the community's response to Hurricane Irma.
Craig Fugate is leading the county's review, determining what can be done better the next time the Suncoast is faced with a hurricane. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us now live at the Sarasota County Emergency Operations Center with more. Jess?
Jacqueline, Scott, as many of you already know, not only was Fugate the administrator of FEMA when President Barack Obama was in office, before that, he was the director of emergency services for the entire state of Florida when Jeb Bush was governor. Now today, the analysis of how well Sarasota County did before, during, and after Hurricane Irma started right here with a tour of the command center.
Everybody says, well, Irma was difficult. I'm like, I've never seen too many that's been easy because of that uncertainty that you have to plan for.
Craig Fugate walked the halls of Sarasota County's EOC, the command center, when Hurricane Irma came to town.
You've got a pretty good concentration of all your command and control for your emergency response in a hardened building that doesn't have to evacuate, that's survivable, that can provide for the immediate needs of the people working here so they're not having to try to come and go. That's your key thing.
The former FEMA administrator wants to know what happened and how things were handled during the storm before he can determine what can be done better next time.
But I really want to also make sure that we don't stop with Irma. I want to look at what if Irma had not missed? What if it had been a direct hit?
Fugate says the focus will be more on resources and less on finances, from shelters and evacuations to power restoration and debris cleanup. Overall, the county feeling confident about how it handled the storm.
They were out on the road at 1:30 in the morning, starting to open up main highway infrastructure, opening up the different roadways to the hospitals, to the interstate, and by 3 o'clock in the morning, all our 911 calls that were in queue during the winds were answered.
But of course, there's always room to improve. The next step of the analysis continues on Friday. Fugate will be meeting with many people who were involved in helping the community get through Hurricane Irma, from the leaders of local municipalities to the nonprofit partners.
As we get to these bigger and bigger disasters we're seeing with Harvey, with Irma, with Maria, is there's always this impression that if we get in trouble, we can always ask somebody to come help us out. Well, I think we really need to go back and look at how much self-sufficiency do we have in the first 72 hours. Because even at FEMA, we know a hurricane's coming, but we even have trouble getting into areas if the roads aren't passable.
The analysis will continue over the next couple of months. Then in February, the report will be released. That's when the county says they'll look at those recommendations and start implementing them as we go into hurricane season next year. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you. A collection of storm debris from Hurricane Irma is now more than 98% complete in Sarasota County. Debris pickup crews are now working in all areas across the county. County officials say the first pass of debris collection will be completed in all zones on both public and private roads before Thanksgiving. And then on Monday, November 27th, the second sweep will begin. Officials say they expect that second sweep to be complete by Christmas.
Lawmakers in Tallahassee spent several hours today discussing a series of issues related to Hurricane Irma. These included agricultural impacts, state expenditures for the storm, and issues surrounding the post-Irma debris removal process. Several committee members say they believe the month-old damage estimates made by the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Service are too low. Those estimates project losses of more than $2.5 billion.
Our division of marketing has been keeping an eye on the produce truck movements, and what they are seeing so far is staggering. September produce shipments from Florida were 76% lower than their average over the previous 4 years.
Going by those estimates, the State Department of Agriculture says Hurricane Irma caused over $700 million in damage to the citrus industry and over $600 million to the nursery industry.
Well, it seems like a distant memory when you get a day like today, cooler temperatures.
It was
in the
nice
70s.
out there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's get more with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harris.
High pressure continuing to dominate our weather right now, and just 2 weeks before the official end of this 2017 hurricane season. It's still not the most active at this point, but still we had a lot of records set as a result of the major hurricanes and the intensity of Maria and Irma out there, as well as Harvey. So Lakewood Ranch webcam showing beautiful conditions out there, lots of sunshine, and that's a direct result of this high pressure ridge which continues to dominate our weather. It's not going away anytime soon, but there are some changes on the horizon as a storm system will eventually bring us some rainfall, looks like, for Thanksgiving. 71 right now. It was 75 just 10-15 minutes ago. The dew point temperature is 60, and so it'll be a cool start tomorrow. We'll have the low temperatures generally into the upper 50s across the region. The Gulf water temperature now 73, and temperature in Northport 78 degrees, 75 at Mayaca City, Braden at 70, the same in Cortez and Venice at 74. More in your weather forecast. We'll talk about that storm system coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A local pharmacist is behind bars charged with theft and possession of controlled substances. Manatee County Sheriff's Office says Cody Bennett was a pharmacist at Manatee Discount Pharmacy when he committed the crimes. An investigation began after a complaint of suspicious activity at that pharmacy. Investigators found nearly 500 oxycodone pills were reported missing. When detectives arrived, they say Bennett had some of those pills in his pockets, and he later confessed that he had been stealing from the pharmacy since September.
Florida medical examiners say opioid-related deaths increased by more than a third last year, and they were already high. A new state report says there were more than 5,000 cases where opioids were either the cause of death or they were present in the system of the person who died. Manatee County had the highest number of opioid-related deaths among Florida's 67 counties in 2015.
Republicans are one step closer to notching tax reform as a legislative victory. On the heels of President Trump's trip to Capitol Hill, the House overwhelmingly passed the measure. ABC's Janae Norman is on Capitol Hill with the hurdles that still remain.
We're taking action today. It's time for this old broken tax code to go.
A step toward the finish line for Republicans looking to reform taxes by the end of the year.
The tax is going really well. Thank you very much.
President Trump rallied support on Capitol Hill ahead of the House vote today, and afterward, Republicans overwhelmingly approved their tax plan.
All of this is about tax relief. It's about fairness. It's about simplicity. It's about easing the stress and anxiety that's in this country.
The bill Republicans have brought to the floor today is not tax reform. It's not even a tax cut. It is a tax scam.
The plan would decrease the number of tax brackets and cut the corporate tax rate to 20%. But a number of New York and New Jersey Republicans voted against the measure, concerned about plans to eliminate state and local tax deductions. And the bill is ripe with criticism from Democrats who oppose the nearly $1.5 trillion the bill would add to the national deficit over the next decade, and insist Republicans are padding the pockets of corporations at the expense of low and middle income Americans.
36 million working Americans will receive a tax increase under this bill.
And there's criticism from at least 2 Republicans in the Senate. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson says he can't support the bill because he believes it favors big corporations. And Maine Senator Susan Collins has concerns about potential impacts on health care premiums if the Obamacare individual mandate is repealed. Janae Norman, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Well, ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now. Richard, it was a strong day on Wall Street from what I understand.
A very strong day, and certainly the news we just talked about on the tax bill didn't hurt a thing. But truthfully, the big news was earnings as a result of very strong earnings from the largest retailer in the world, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up by more than 220 points at the high of the day. The NASDAQ index closed at a record high. So no matter how you slice it, the first 3 days of this week, we didn't exactly knock the cover off the ball. But let me assure you, we did today. Let's take a look at the numbers, and I think you'll be impressed. There you see the Dow Jones Industrial Average up by 187 points, 0.8% at 23,458.36. That on volume of 744 million shares. Record for the NASDAQ, up 55 points, just over 0.8%, 6,793.29. That on volume of 1,947 million shares. Lastly, look at that, another up 0.82, 21 points. That's a big move for the S&P, 2,585.64. Well, and speaking of big moves, how about Walmart? Not only the largest retailer in the world, but a component of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which today jumped by an astonishing 10.9% in one day. The company said that its earnings, both top and bottom line, were well ahead of Wall Street expectations. Its e-commerce, hello, can you say Amazon? E-commerce sales were up by 50%. They now have had consecutive same-store sales increases for 13 consecutive quarters. And to say they're the largest in the world, well, let's try this out. Their revenues for one calendar quarter, 3 months, $123 billion. That's an awful lot of merchandise.
Wow.
I can't even picture that number in my head. Well, Richard, what about Barnes & Noble? How are they doing?
Well, they're doing very well today, up 8% after rumors apparently are true that a private equity company is talking to Barnes & Noble about taking them private, and 8% in one day for Barnes & Noble, not too bad either.
Sounds good. Richard, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the search for a Tampa serial killer intensifies, with community members offering up their own money to help find him.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, how many cups of coffee a day you should drink to help reduce your risk of multiple sclerosis. Coming up in Health Smart.
7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Get KBV's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for as little as $24,999. Or be one of the first to drive away in a 2018 Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
All this week, Erica Jackson reveals behind-the-scenes shopping secrets you can't afford to miss. Are you getting the best savings online? Our subscription service is a good deal. Find out all this week as ABC7 investigates shopping secrets at 6 p.m.
The reward being offered for information on a Tampa serial killer has increased to $100,000. The money being contributed by law enforcement partner, community groups, and private citizens. Yesterday, Tampa police released new video of a person of interest in the case captured on security video. The fourth victim, 60-year-old Ronald Felton, was gunned down Tuesday morning outside a local food bank where he volunteered. To help the Tampa Police Department's efforts to keep the Seminole Heights neighborhood safe, Governor Rick Scott has also directed the Florida Highway Patrol to deploy additional officers to that area. For the first time, the Sarasota County Fire Department took Twitter users along today on a virtual ride-along. The department's media relations assistant kept followers up to date on what firefighters were up to. They call it Tweet from the Heat, a takeoff on the Sarasota Police Department's identical program called Tweet from the Beat. Battalion Chief Derek Boyer says he's glad they're finally doing it.
Well, we understand that we have the public's trust, and from time to time, they deserve for us to earn that. So here's an opportunity for us to engage with the public, to let them know some of the services that we render, and also to introduce them to some of the men and women that serve them on a daily basis.
We caught up with them today to watch firefighters use a sidewalk hydrant to refill a water tank on a ladder truck. That truck had been used earlier at a car fire. If you want to see all the tweets from the heat today, just go to the Twitter handle at SCGovEOC.
I don't know about you all, but today was just that perfect mixture of sun and breeze. It just felt great outside
Really
today.
nice. Yeah, low humidity was absolutely outstanding. Once again, beautiful weather. November, always a really nice month. And, you know, we're starting to wind down in hurricane season, too. That's always another benefit of November. We start to see some cooler weather moving in and cooling the Gulf of Mexico down. Well, a beautiful day it was, and the Van Wezel webcam capturing that beauty as we saw a lot of sunshine today, just a few fair weather cumulus clouds late in the afternoon, but all in all, a spectacular day, and looks like we'll see more again tomorrow. But things are going to be changing around a little bit as we push toward the holiday of Thanksgiving. That's right, a front, a storm system, all sorts of things happening, and we'll let you know about it right here in just a few minutes. Here's the current conditions. We have generally fair skies up and down the coast, and the temperature now 71 degrees. That's nice. The dew point is at 60, which is fairly typical for this time of year. And the barometer 29.98 inches, which is considered high, and that's holding steady right now. Some key temperatures across the area. Holmes Beach at 73, a couple degrees warmer now in Braden, 76 in Palmyra, Waterleaf at 75, Braden Country Club 76, Southgate at 72, and 75 now in Inglewood. Northport at 77 degrees, and temperatures will drop down into the upper 50s for the start off on Friday morning, and will warm again. A perfect day on Friday, 2 in a row, and it looks like great weather for Friday evening as well. Temperatures will drop down into the upper 50s to low 60s even on Saturday morning. Temperature forecast, I mentioned to start the day off, will be around 59 for Sarasota, in the 40s in Gainesville, Tallahassee, 50 degrees, Jacksonville at 52, and then we'll quickly warm up in the afternoon into the upper 70s with lots of sunshine around, and winds will be out of the east and northeast. 5 to 10 in the afternoon, a little breezy during the morning. I mentioned the start on Saturday pretty much similar to what we had over the past couple of mornings, upper 50s for lows here along the west coast. Now, as far as we're concerned, a high pressure will continue to dominate our weather and is doing so right now over the southeast United States. There is a storm system, a little quick hitter over the northeast, and out west they continue to get hammered by some heavy weather moving in from the Pacific there. I mentioned a little weak disturbance bringing some rainfall along the east coast of Florida, but not much here. And then up again into New York and also into Philadelphia, getting some showers there, kind of a rain-snow mix at this point. And you can see some of that snow and rain mix near Rochester, spreading off toward Bradford, and Buffalo getting a little bit of a brief shower now and again. Mainly rain, but some mixture of freezing rain at times near Watertown. And out to the west we go. Lots of rain and shower activity continues to push onshore associated with this massive area of low pressure, and another one lined up behind it. And with this La Nina winter that we're going to see, it looks like, fairly certain of that, they're going to have a wet, cool winter across much of the Pacific Northwest. Different story for us. As we explained yesterday, we'll see kind of a warm, mild winter with less rainfall than we normally see. Now, current temperatures, that drop in that polar air continues to move into Kentucky, Ohio, also into Pennsylvania and New York right now. Toronto at 39, 45 in St. Louis. Minneapolis at 32 degrees. And you'll notice this blue and purple kind of stays basically over the eastern third of the nation. Doesn't really drop too far south here, so we're not going to get extremely cold here. We'll get a little cooler on Monday, and then looks like a good chance for rain start to move in on Tuesday. You'll see that in the 7-day forecast. So for boaters tomorrow, the winds will start off at around 15 knots and then subside in the afternoon. That's again for Thursday this evening, but then it stays the same for Friday for the most part. As far as the forecast goes, tides upcoming for Sarasota Bay look like this. High tide 10:35 and a low tide will be at 6:31. Forecast tonight mostly fair, cool, 57 for your low, and then Tomorrow we'll see a mixture of sun and clouds with a mild temperature of 79 degrees, and temperature staying in the upper 70s over the weekend. Looks to be a pretty good weekend. And then chance for showers comes Tuesday, cooler weather on Monday, and then notice for Thanksgiving a good chance for showers and maybe even a thunderstorm. 74 for a high. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. In First Alert traffic right now, we're seeing some delays as you head north on I-75 in Sarasota County. This is due to a crash near the Fruitville Road exit. That crash causing slowdowns for drivers beginning south of there at the Clark Road exit. But then it clears up once you get past Fruitville Road. Jacqueline?
In health news tonight, November 16th is World Pancreatic Cancer Day. The date survivors and activists around the world demand better in the fight against what some call the world's toughest form of cancer. Mary Maloney has details on the deadly disease and what one woman's ongoing fight to raise awareness.
I'm here today healthy, thriving, and cancer-free.
Lori McCaskill was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer more than a decade ago. After seeing multiple doctors and undergoing months of treatment, Lori decided to take on a more active role as a patient. Literally. She learned how to administer the treatment herself, allowing her the freedom to travel and continue to participate in the activities she loves.
I thought if I have 3 months to live and 1 month is going to be in the hospital, I preferred to try and take on my life and live the last few months as I wanted to.
Lori uses her experience as a platform to educate others about the disease.
Time is of essence with pancreatic cancer, and the symptoms, because they are similar to other conditions that are less serious, they often get overlooked and misdiagnosed.
Some of the risk factors for pancreatic cancer include family history, pancreatitis, diabetes, smoking, obesity, and age. The 5-year survival rate is just 9%, one of the lowest among major types of cancer. There are not currently any screening tests or early detection tools.
It was only because I was persistent, I listened to my body, and I took charge that 11 years later I'm here today after being told I had only 3 months to live.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
Some good news for coffee lovers. Coffee may reduce your risk of multiple sclerosis. Coffee intake has been linked to a reduced risk of several diseases, including diabetes and heart disease. But new research from Kaiser Permanente in Northern California finds drinking coffee may also protect against the development of multiple sclerosis. It's a disabling neurological disease that affects about 2.5 million people worldwide. But how much coffee do you need to drink a day to reduce those risks? According to researchers, it's 6 cups a day. Parents in Sarasota County can expect to see a permission slip in their child's backpack this week. For 2 days this month, free flu shots will be available at all Sarasota County schools. You'll need to sign off if you want your child to receive a vaccination sometime between November 28th through November 30th. Protection from the shot will be effective within 2 weeks and should last until the end of the flu season. Children do not need to be accompanied by a parent or guardian to receive the vaccination. All you have to do is give them that signed permission slip. Coming up, the search for a Hamburglar is on after a woman is caught on camera stealing from McDonald's. And an extremely rare painting nabs an out-of-this-world price.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these other injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial Call 800-604-1698. That's 800-604-1698.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Auto Trader recently said Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds. A segment best. You deserve the best. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
It's been 5 months now since a massive fire raged through London's Grenfell Tower. Police now say they think they've identified everyone who died, 70 people in all. In addition, they say a baby was stillborn. Members of 320 households affected by the fire are still living in hotels, including more than 200 children from the tower and its neighboring blocks. Police will continue their searches at Grenfell Tower until early December, gathering evidence in the criminal investigation of what happened there. Well, a Hamburglar is on the loose. Take a look at this surveillance footage, which was released by police in Maryland. It shows a woman peering into a drive-through window of a closed McDonald's. She then squeezes through the small window, filling up a soft drink, struggling to push a box filled with food and other McDonald's items out of the window to someone outside. She also took an undisclosed amount of cash in the heist. Police are still searching for that woman.
A rare Leonardo da Vinci painting didn't hit the 100 million mark at auction like officials expected. Instead, it more than quadrupled that number, smashing world records. The painting sold for a record $450.3 million in New York yesterday, the amount making it the most expensive artwork ever to sell at auction. Dating back to around 1500, it's a depiction of Jesus Christ in Renaissance clothing and is one of fewer than 20 authentic works by Da Vinci in existence. Some Star Wars fans at Disneyland got a huge shock today when Mark Hamill, the actor behind Luke Skywalker's character, joined their Star Wars ride. The actor stepping out to the delight of fans after being introduced by a cast member. Not only did the crowd love it, but Hamill seemed to enjoy it as well, saying he always wanted to work at Disneyland. Could you imagine?
The faces on some of those people is hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's Mark Hamill.
Oh my.
That's Luke Skywalker.
Right.
That's awesome.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, the Atlanta Braves continue to celebrate in Northport.
Team officials talk the big move and what kind of future plans we can expect for baseball in that area. Stay with us.
The biggest shopping day of the year is here, and Sunset Fiat of Sarasota invites you to experience the ultimate LBD. Long, beautiful drive, of course, because no matter which model you try on, the Fiat 500, the 500X, the 500L, or the gorgeous Fiat Spider, you're going to love the way you look and feel in your new Fiat. Prices starting as low as $13,999 during the Black Friday sales event going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $279 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.